Good evening and welcome to our 112th annual meeting. I'm privileged to serve as tonight's MC. The theme for tonight's meeting is Designing Our Future. We've already laid a strong foundation for the future with our strategic priorities, and just as we built Sukkot, we are building Federation as a house outside of our home, one that will shelter our community. We begin this evening with an invocation, and we're delighted to have with us tonight Rabbi James Bennett, the senior rabbi from Congregation Sher Emeth. Rabbi Bennett is devoted to building a strong community involving all generations and strengthening members intellectually and spiritually. Rabbi Bennett.
As Andrew mentioned, we find ourselves this evening in the midst of a transition from the days of awe to the coming holiday of Sukkot. And our tradition teaches us that it is actually a mitzvah immediately after Yom Kippur to go from mitzvah to mitzvah and to build our sukkah. The Torah, of course, teaches us that dwelling in the sukkah for 7 days is a mitzvah, but it actually does not teach us that building a sukkah is a mitzvah. And so in the Talmud, the rabbis debate, is it the fulfillment of a mitzvah to build a sukkah? And if so, does one recite a bracha when one builds the sukkah? So in the rabbinic discussion, there is an inconclusive result. Some rabbis teach that one does recite a bracha. Others suggest that one waits until one enters the sukkah to recite a bracha. But in the Jerusalem Talmud, we are told that one may recite a bracha. And even in the Babylonian Talmud, the rabbis say that when one completes building a sukkah, one might recite Shehechianu, thanking God for this occasion. I want to suggest this evening as we begin this meeting that our community has indeed built a sukkah, the infrastructure of our Jewish community, our Jewish Federation, and all the institutions that surround it, standing ready to support and to protect our Jewish community from the elements, and a sukkah that also reminds us of the fragility of our lives and our place in the world today. And if our Jewish Federation and our community represent our communal sukkah, then we indeed ought to begin this year reciting a bracha, a blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shechianu, b'kiyamanu, v'higianu lazman hazeh. We bless you, God, ruler of all the universe, for you have kept us alive and you have sustained us, and you have brought us here this evening for this joyous time. We say together, Amen.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Bennett, for those words of inspiration. We have got a really great program for you this evening. And let me begin by pointing out that you'll find our annual report, which includes the meeting program on page 2 in the bags at your seats. There's some other pieces of information there, including a bookmark. It looks like this, that has the website added for our donor list that can be found online now in a way that we can update and keep that continually together. What it says on the bookmark is thank you, and that's how I'd like to start. We at Federation are extremely grateful for your presence here and for the many contributions that each of you makes to our community, time, talent, and dollars that are needed to sustain what we do. I'm inspired by the work of our agency, congregational and organizational leaders, and our current and incoming board members who are here, the many talented colleagues and our young leaders who are all here tonight. In whatever way you support and serve our community and the Jewish people as a leader or a volunteer or just a donor and supporter, thank you so much. You are the ones that are actively enabling us to design and build our future together. I would especially like to recognize the Federation past presidents who are here tonight. So if I could ask you to stand as we recognize you. I know there are a number of them, Mont and Sheila and Michael, Tom, Harvey, Eshel, Morris, thank you so much for being here. And for the past year, I've been honored to work with our current board chair, Bob Millstone. And he carries on the great tradition that our past presidents represent in the continuity and the wisdom that they provide to our community. More on him later, But I also want to send a special thank you to Bob's wife, Colleen, who's been a source of strength and comfort to him, and who traveled back from the Northeast to be with us tonight. Thank you, Colleen. I also want to just acknowledge the tireless efforts of our entire Federation staff. You know, this has been my first year, and I've been extremely grateful to get to know all of them over the past year. I can tell you that what we do here is not one face, or in my case, one head. It's a collective work. It's a teamwork, and I so respect and honor our dedicated staff that works. Would you please, they're standing in the back, but give them a hand for the work that they do. Thank you so much. Let me also mention, because I see some people standing in the back, we do have some seats up here in the third or fourth row if you want. There are a couple and a few over here if you're looking for a seat. Please come and join us. I'd also like to introduce to you Rachel Peerless, who will be serving as campaign director for the remainder of the year. Rachel, if you could stand up and wave. Many of you already know Rachel. She's been with us for the past 18 months, and before that she came from Atlanta, where she was the vice president of the campaign there. She's been a terrific addition, and we're really glad to have her at the helm right now. Finally, I'd like to publicly recognize all those who made tonight's meeting possible. And I think all of us can feel the energy and the beauty of the space and what we've had tonight, and also you'll see the results as the night goes on. This is the folks with our talented marketing department. First off, Ronald Barthelmess, who joined us this year as the Director of Marketing. I'd like to just give her a special thank you for all of her efforts leading this campaign. In the back, and the staff of the marketing department, Susan Goen, Penny Taylor, Melanie Mirowitz, and Erin Wolfman. Erin managed all of the logistics for the evening, working with our very gracious development staff who greeted you at the door, as well as Mike Weaver, Rhonda Redmond, Randy and Rhonda Grass, and everyone who helped before and after the evening. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the hors d'oeuvres and put on by John Rubin Catering, and very much thanks to him. Thanks also, of course, to Monty Sandler, Lynn Whittles, an extraordinary leader of one of the most Jewish institutions, the JCC, for hosting us tonight. Thank you all very much. And now I have the delight to invite Mont Levy, the past president of our board and the chair of the Millstone Institute Advisory Committee, who is going to come to the stage to present the Grossberg Awards in a somewhat new fashion. Mont, thank you for serving this role.